So Little Witch Academia episode 2 came out, and I have to say, this was once again another great episode, and it makes me so happy to see Little Witch Academia finally on a television platform and not just a one-off OVA or movie, because I just always wanted to see them explore more with the school, see different monsters and creatures, and see other cute and just wild, wacky adventures that I always just wanted to see more of, and I only got a couple before this TV anime. So seeing just something like this, that if they were to never do a TV anime, and they were only going to do another movie, like an hour-long movie, or even a 40-minute OVA, something like this we probably never would have seen. We wouldn't see this subtle character development for Deanna in her realizing, okay, maybe I shouldn't be a complete, bitch to people who don't have, magic blood and things like that, but at the core she can't lose her image as she is this, perfect angel in the eyes of the school. And I mean, really, if we weren't in the TV anime right now, we wouldn't just have a movie around the idea of these fairies underneath this tree who would then explode into be these beautiful butterflies pretty much, and it just wouldn't have happened unless it was a TV anime. So I'm so glad we're in the TV form right now, and this was just a really fun episode. Mainly what this was it was showing more around the school, showing us what the school truly is like, and of course the one that Akko idolizes, the one that got her into magic, the one that she used to watch at these shows when she was a little kid, is not an accepted witch by most people's standards, as Deanna does tell her that you would be best not to say her name around here because no one respects her. So of course that's going to trigger Akko to say, no, listen, she's the reason I'm here, and she tries her best to use the rod to move the statue, but of course she's not a true witch yet. She doesn't really know how to use her magic, so she can't just do it, and Deanna just shows her up. And one thing I really like with this is I've always liked Deanna a lot. She's actually been always one of my favorite characters. A lot of people never liked her in the previous OVAs because she's pretty much a bitch, and the TV anime is taking her in a much better direction in my opinion, where she isn't so much a bitch. She's more of this perfect kind of goddess in this world, and her minions and lackeys that follow her around are pretty much the bitchy sidekicks, whereas she's just kind of I'm good, listen to me. And I like that kind of balance that they did, as it is a much more fitting character for her, I find. I really did enjoy her character, but she did have flaws in the previous OVAs and movies, but I do like her character a lot. And seeing how they're portraying her here, I absolutely adore it, especially with seeing how it ends, where Akko proves to her, no, you're doing the wrong thing, these aren't parasites, don't kill them, and shows her up, and even uses the rod and shows her, okay, maybe I should give people more of a chance, and maybe the person I idolized as a kid wasn't so bad, because I'm gonna have the image up right now. So what you're looking at is from episode 1. If you go back and watch episode 1, you see Akko in the crowd, but before you see Akko, you see Deanna as a kid watching this witch that she says you can't like or support. So obviously, when she was a kid, she also idolized her similar as Akko did. So it's interesting seeing the fact that now she's saying you can't worship her, she's just a bad witch. So I'm going to be interested how they played out later on and what they ultimately go the route in terms of the TV anime and what they do to Gresses, and exactly how close Deanna and Akko are going to be in terms of being friends, because I think it's just going to be a really interesting character dynamic. But it's just interesting seeing the fact that she was so into this, other witch that used to be super popular and then just kind of fell off the face of the earth, and now she just totally hates her. So it's going to be interesting what ultimately happened to lead her to that point, but it's really cool, and I don't think everyone's going to realize that unless they go back and watch episode 1. But I just really enjoyed this overall episode, and watching it's such a simple magic concept, and really does give you that what if Disney made Harry Potter kind of a thing. It's just this such a beautiful aesthetic. It gets sloppy, but when it gets sloppy in the animation, it's so expressive with the body language, and just the color palette they use is just really so vibrant that it feels like if Disney was making a TV show, this is what would happen. I just really love what Trigger does with their animation in terms of expression with their body languages. And really, I think we're going to have an overall really solid season watching characters like Deanna come to terms with what happened in the past, whatever did happen, having this character dynamic. I mean, Susie is really just a funny character. She's always trolling our characters there. I mean, just the overall cast, it's great. I love the cast dynamic, I always have, but the TV anime is taking in a much better direction than the previous films and OVAs ever did, in my opinion. I think we're just gonna have a splendid world by the time this anime wraps up. I just couldn't be more pleased with what we've been seeing with Little Witch Academia, from just the character interactions to the comedy to the visual presentation. It all just works so damn well, and I'm really interested to see ultimately what's going to happen with that teacher who's trying to help out Akko because she feels left out, and we really haven't had interactions with her yet between the two of them, but I'm going to be interested in where that goes, and just also, I'm really interested to see where the Deanna stuff goes, because she's much different than she was in the previous entries to Little Witch Academia. I just enjoy her character more, is the easiest way I can say, because, I mean, there is that kind of bitchiness there, but it's mainly with her friends who follow her around, where she's just more, this is right, I know what I'm talking about, follow me kind of a thing. And I like that in terms of her personality. A lot of people are going to hate her character. I know they always have hated her character, but I've always been a big fan of her character, and this episode just really made her into an even better character in my opinion. But for anyone who watched the episode, what do you think of this? And also, did you see that tie into episode 1 like I pointed out, with Deanna being in that crowd similar to Akko? So let me know your thoughts. As always, please be sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy the video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time everyone, please take care and have a good one.